If you want to know what's new in Canva, you are watching the right video. I'm going to share 9 new features that have been rolled out during the month of May, and these are coming right before the Canva Create event. So if you're ready for this, let's start with the first new feature. All right, let's kick off this episode with a section about what's new in presentation. And the first new feature is called on-click animation. All right, on-click animation is a feature that will allow users to trigger animations when they click when they are in presenter mode. So this one is going to make a lot of people who are using PowerPoint quite happy because it's about that one little feature, clicking to trigger elements to appear and disappear when you are presenting that exist in PowerPoint but didn't exist up to today in Canva. So in order to show you how this works, I have used a template right here. This is a template from Diana, and you see it's a template with 3 buttons right here that are just like 3 points that will come during a specific slide of the presentation. So you see it's almost at the end of the presentation is this slide right here. So let me show you how I can, once I'm in view mode, so view mode, to access view mode, you need to click on the little arrows icon right here at the bottom of your screen. This will get you into full screen or presenter mode. So if I go from this slide to this slide, you see there's no, like when I click, I just go to the next slide. So that's not what I want. So in order to set these on-click animation is actually quite simple. I will need to select the element, or in this case, as I can see here, it's a group of elements. It's a text box and a shape. So I will make sure I select both by clicking and dragging my mouse to select both of these elements. There you go. And next I will find and click on the animate button right here on top of my screen. Okay, click. By default, I will be on element animation right here, the second tab right here in the side panel with the animations. Why? Because I have selected an element, or in this case, a group of elements. So you should be here. And the feature we are looking for is the first one right here. You see this slider? It says presentation setting, appear on click. So the appear on click, there's a slider here. I want to toggle the slider on so that it becomes purple. And then I simply can find the animation that I want to use here. And I'm going to go for pop. All right, and on just enter. So now I have set the animation for this button and I specify that I want this to appear on click. So that's how you set up this animation, this new feature. All right, let's do this for the other buttons. Let's make sure I select both elements like so. Again, toggle the slider on and use the pop animation. And then the third one, again, same manipulation. I toggle this on and the pop effect on enter only. There you go. And now I'm going to show you by going into the presenter mode, the full screen mode. You see, that's my slide. So the good news is that I don't see any buttons. And now I'm going to click once. So there you go, the first button. And then I can talk about low productivity and, what happens if you don't have time management. So that was my first point. Second point, I'm going to click again, boom. Rushing to complete task. That's what happens when you don't have time management, blah, 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 talking again. And then my third button, I want to make it appear. I click again, and there you go, failing to set priorities. So this is the first new feature I wanted to show you guys today. It's called on-click animation. Let's move on to the second feature. All right, so I have a couple of different features here that are mostly little UI, UX improvement, UI, UX tweaks. The first one of these improvements has to do with the Canva creator profile. So the people who are contributing to the Canva library with either templates or elements. And the feature is called Profile Preview Cards. Let me show you what it does. So I'm here on the Canva homepage, and in order to demonstrate this feature, I need to get to the template library. So I'm going to click on templates. I'm going to scroll down a bit and you see a bunch of different templates right here. Let's focus on these logo templates. You see a bunch of different logos here and their corresponding creators. You see, so this one has been created by UIO, this one by Natalia Talala, Design Space. So the feature consists of this right here. Okay, so when you hover your mouse over the creator profile, you now have this card okay? It's called Profile Preview Card, from which you can do 3 different actions. The first one is that you can copy the link to their creator profile. See, if I click here, link, copy it to clipboard. So that's very useful if you want to save that for later, or if you want to share that with someone else. The second action I can do from here, without moving everywhere in the different menus, is to follow this creator. You see, I have a button that says follow Natalia. And then the last action I can do is to view Natalia's profile, or that particular creator's profile. So if I click on it, I will be redirected to her profile, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So I'm going to go back and show you another one. So all of these are Canva. You see this one right here? So here is the creator profile card and etc. So I can really, from all of these templates, directly access their Canva creator profile information. I love that Canva is giving more love, like more features, so that it's easier to discover, follow, and support these Canva creators. So try it out. This should be available to anyone. Just simply hover over their creator profile and follow them, discover their work. All right, guys, we are moving fast today. Let's move on to the third new feature, which is another UI UX tweak. Canva Create is around the corner, and I know that they are going to release a huge amount of new features. So the ones that you are seeing in this episode are not yet part of the Canva Create announcements, but it's just like what Canva has been released in the month of May. I still wanted to squeeze this video in before we start talking about Canva Create stuff right here on the channel, because we are going to cover all of that good stuff. But I didn't want to skip these updates from May, which are maybe not as shiny as what is going to be announced, but still, like, I wanted this to be part of the content that I share with you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not yet subscribed, because we are going to have a ton of things to discuss after the Canva Create event. Now, back to our feature right here. This is the feature number 3, and it's called font filters. So this one gives us the ability to filter our fonts. So for that, I need a piece of text. Okay, so I'm going to take a random piece of text right here. I'm going to select it and click on the typography box right here, the font box right here. Right now it says the name of my font, Montserrat Extra Bold. So the font filters is this one right here. Okay, so you see the search box for fonts. It should have a little slider that says show filters. So click on that. So the novelty is this right here. So now you can select language specific category or family of fonts. Okay, so this is very useful since Canva is being used all over the world to find the fonts that work best with my particular language. Okay, if I write Spanish, I will need some special characters in Spanish. If I'm in Japan, if I'm in Thailand, for example, there will be different alphabets even. So not all the fonts work for all of these languages. So you can search by languages. So let's say Spanish from Spain, for example. Okay. If I apply this filter, Canva is going to give me only the fonts that are appropriate for the Spanish language. And a second novelty, a second filter that is also super useful is the ability to filter for only the free or the pro font. So if you're a Canva free user, if you select free only and apply, now you see I have 2 filters applied. I can clear them or I can apply them. Let's apply them. And now Canva should be showing me only the fonts that are relevant for Spanish writing. So I should have no problem adding like the accent on the N right here. Let's try. Yep. There we go. I have my font with that little character that is typical to Spanish. Now let's try something else. I'm going to click here and search for Japanese. Yes, free. Okay, apply. And you see the results here. I have all of these Japanese characters. And so, yeah, that is my list of Japanese fonts. So there you go. That's a neat little feature that I think is going to make our lives easier. The next UX UI improvement is called Grab Text V2. Okay, so that's the second version of the Pro feature called Grab Text. And for those of you who don't remember what Grab Text does, it allows us to grab text from a flat image. Okay, so you just upload an image to your Canva design, and Grab Text will allow us to actually modify this text by magically recognizing this text and making it editable. Okay, now remember, this is a Pro feature. Let me show you where to find it. Okay, so I have an image here, and you can see it's an image. If I double click on it, it's an image. I cannot grab that text right here. It's a screenshot from our YouTube channel. Like, I'm very proud of this video because it's the first one that got to 1 million views on our channel. Okay, so what I want to show you is to use the grab text. Okay, so I will have to select the image first and then go to my edit photos, and you see this app right here. It's under Magic Studio. So this app called Grab Text. It has a little Pro crown on it, so it's a Pro feature. So if I click on it, this is what happens. So you will have select text to grab. Okay, I have two different tabs right here. The novelty is the first tab right here. That's why it's called V2 or second version, because before, what the app would do is to be by default selecting all of the text on my image. You see, all of the text. So it will select everything that resembles text. So this right here, the Canva logo, and this text box. The novelty is that you can now select which text you want to edit. So you see, I can select this one, can deselect by clicking again. Me, I'm interested in editing this block of text right here. So I use the first button right here that says click. I clicked on this text box right here, and I'm gonna click on grab. So normally what Canva will do right now is to let me edit this particular information on the image. And you see, I can now click on it. It has become a text box, and the font, the colors, they remain pretty much the same, which is very interesting in my opinion. So let's fast forward into the future, and let's say this video didn't get 1 million views, but 10 million views, all right? Because you guys are going to share it with your friends, and if you share it with 10 of your friends, each one of you, then maybe we get to like 10 million views. Who knows? So 10 million views would look something like this, right? 10 million views. So there you go. That's in a nutshell what Grab Text 2.0 or V2 can do. You can now select individual text boxes from a flat image so that you can edit this text information, which could be pretty useful. I'm sure there are some like more interesting use cases than just like faking 9 million views on your YouTube videos. But yeah, I mean, that's one way of using the feature. But yeah, I think this is very useful. I think this is valuable, and I'm glad that Canva kind of like continues to improve on features that have already been released. All right, one last feature, or I would say a bundle of features to come in this category of UI, UX tweaks. It's the fact that Canva is getting bigger. What I mean by that is that Canva is regularly kind of bumping up the limits of the number of elements we can use in a single project, the number of videos or audio clips we can use in a video project, etc., etc. So here we have three, I would say, new limits that they have been pushing up. The first one has to do with the number of pages in our Canva documents. Any Canva document, Canva project that you start, up to very recently, we could only have 350 pages. And now this limit has been bumped to 500 pages. So that's quite a significant improvement, bump in the limit. So that's the first one. The second one has to do with Canva whiteboards. And you can now, the novelty, the raised limit is that we can now have up to 2,000 elements in our Canva whiteboards. To be very honest, I don't remember what number we are coming from, but I remember that once I reached that limit. So I had so many things. I think it was for a tutorial about like creating AI characters with AI and DALL-E, and I put everything in the whiteboard, and the whiteboard became complete. Like, we could not add more elements. So now this limit has been bumped as well, up to 2,000 elements. And then a third limit has been bumped prompt. This one has to do with the size of the PDFs that you can import into Canva. This size has now become up to 300 megabytes. So you can upload larger PDFs, and Canva will be able to read, analyze these PDFs and make them editable. So you can actually use them and work on your PDFs that you imported into Canva directly in the Canva editor. So that's for the part about Canva becoming better. And that good news right here wraps up the section about the UI UX tweaks. I have 4 more features to go, but now we are going to switch category. All right, let's move over what's new in apps. And I know we have a dedicated series right here on the channel called Hot New Canva Apps, where I review all of these new apps. But this app right here is a bit different because it's a native Canva app, okay? It's called Magic Media. So being a native app made by Canva, I kind of consider this as a new feature rather than a new app. All right, so the feature or the app is called Magic Media Text to Graphics, okay? So you might already know Magic Media, okay? For those of you who don't know it, head over your apps button right here in the side panel and find Magic Media. So it should be an app in the black and white apps right here, not the colorful ones. So the black and white ones is called Magic Media. If I click here, previously we had this like text to image or text to video generator. You see image and videos right here. But now Canva, and that's the novelty, Canva added this middle tab right here called graphics, okay? So you can now prompt via a text prompt and get a graphic or an element generated via the Magic Media, okay? So it says, describe what you'd like to create, still in beta, and we have different styles for your graphic. If I click on see all, I see that I have a bunch of different styles going from doodles, stickers, to more artistic ones like vintage or impasto, geometric, or if we scroll all the way down to the detailed section, you have like more elaborated ones like the 3D Chrome or scrapbook. All right, so these are the different styles. I'm gonna go back to the prompt right here and I'm gonna type, let's say a pine tree, okay, a pine tree, and I'm gonna choose sticker, okay, generate the graphic. So it's gonna take a second or two. I'm not gonna speed up the video because I want you to see kind of how long it takes. And also it gives me time to, again, like remind you of all the good stuff we have here. Like we have the join button, for example, that gives you access to all of our courses via the membership, but also live sessions that we organize each month and my weekly updates for all the channel members. So yeah, check out the memberships right here. It's very good. All right, the pine tree is ready. It's a sticker pine tree and it looks good. Let's click on it so you can see it. There you go. I'm going to add a background pink so you can see the outline, the white outline of this pine tree right here. So if I click on it, I can do a couple of things. I can edit this. So it's considered a photo. That's interesting. I thought it would be considered more like an element, meaning I could maybe change its color once it's generated, but I can't do that. It's considered a photo. So I have access to the photo apps, but not really like the same flexibility that an element would give me. So a little bit disappointing, but I mean, it's still cool. Like they added this style of visuals instead of photos or videos. Okay, let's try something else. Let's try the fancy shiny like duck right there, like the 3D Chrome. Let's have a vintage cassette player. Vintage cassette player in this 3D Chrome. Okay, let's see if I can get a nice cassette player. So there you go. We have our 4 vintage shiny chrome cassette players. Some funky stuff right here, like a double cassette player, one that looks more like a computer, another one that looks more like almost a fridge. I'm gonna go with this one, which is the more normal looking. So yeah, let's have a closer look. It's still AI, so it's still like not perfect. This is probably not using the latest model either. So it's probably DALL-E 2 or something like in that range of idea. So text is not great, the details are not great, but I mean, you get something. The good news is that Canva keeps on adding more stuff to Magic Media, which is great. What I really would like to see there is that technology, the underlying model, being the latest model, like the latest DALL-E or the latest Stable Diffusion, or I don't know, something like the top-notch models, not the older ones that still give you kind of like so-so images. All right, but that's good. That's good enough. I like it. This is available for everyone, so pro and free on mobile and desktop. All right, let's switch category one more time and see what's new in Docs, the Canva documents. I have one novelty there, and it's a simple one. It's the ability to share your Canva doc with a public view link. All right, so I'm here in a Canva doc. This is our newsletter, let's pretend. So the Rondi newsletter with a bunch of news from us about our new courses, about the new tutorials, etc., etc. Let's pretend this is our newsletter. And I want to share that with our audience, you guys. So one way of doing this would be, for example, to share a link to the newsletter, okay? So for that, I need to generate a link. So let's click on the share button right here, and you should locate the public view link right here, okay? Create a public view link to allow anyone to access a view-only version of this design. No sign-in will be required. So that is pretty cool. That's exactly what I want to do. So I have to create the public view link by clicking on the purple button. So there you go. It's been created. It's right here. I can copy it. And I want to show you that it works. So for that, I'm just simply pasting the link right here in my browser. And you see, this is what people will see by accessing my public view link. So it's pretty cool. If I embedded videos in there, they would play. If I added animations, they would also play. So in my opinion, this is a neat little upgrade for the Canva docs. Now, let me show you one more thing you can do with your public view link. You can actually remove the link. Let's say you've been sharing that and something went wrong, like you realize, okay, there's a problem with my newsletter. I forgot to talk about this, or I shared this information which is not accurate. So you could go back to the share button and back to the public view link. You see it's live. Canva gives you the indication that the link is actually active. So if you click here, you could delete that public view link. So I'm going to do that right now. Are you sure you want to delete this public view link? Yes. So delete the public view link. And now when people click on that link, nothing will happen. They will be redirected to some kind of error message. And you can reactivate it again if you want by simply creating another one. I'm not sure if it's going to be the same one, but I know you can create another one. And the good news is that this is going to be available to all users. Yeah. And we have already reached the last section of this tutorial. I told you I was going to be quick today because I have a lot of things to do. You have a lot of things to do. So yeah, I'm going to spare your time. This category is about what's new with videos and animations. I decided to kind of smoosh these two together. I have two new features to go, and these are probably the most impressive features of the video, of the tutorial. So yeah, make sure you follow until the end. The first one is the ability for pro users to export their GIFs with a transparent background. So this is great. This is like something highly waited for because yeah, I mean, the ability to export GIFs without a background will allow you to create stickers, will allow you to create little on-screen animations for your videos and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. So let me show you with this example right here. What I have here is just a static photo of myself and a static piece of text. Okay, so I just composed this design. So I'm kind of like pointing at, hey, great work. So now what I'm going to do here is to simply animate these two elements so that I have some movement going on. And then I will export that as a GIF without a background and show you what it looks like. Okay, so first is adding some animation. Let's click on the photo of me first. Click on the animate button. And I'm going to go with baseline. So it looks like I'm coming out of the bottom of the page. So again, that's that's the animation I'm going for. On enter, yes, thank you very much. And then the text right here, which by the way is a text that I found under the text tab right here. You see it's right there. So it's just a font combo that Canva added there. I just changed the first letter for capital G and the color. That's all I did right here. Okay, so clicking on the text box and clicking on the animate button again. There you go. I'm gonna go with burst, I guess. Yes, this one right here. So the letters are gonna appear kind of slowly one after the other. And this also on enter. All right, so that's all I needed. I have page 21 right here. I'm gonna go and export that, download that as a GIF. Okay, so click on my download button, make sure I click on page 21. Okay, page 21. And then in the file type, I'm gonna select GIF. Okay, so scroll all the way to the bottom of this list, click on GIF. So GIFs, everyone can export their design as a GIF. But if you want to export with a transparent background, which is the new feature talking about, you need to be a pro user, okay? We will have a link in the description of this video. That's our 30-day free trial to use Canva Pro. So if you've never used Canva Pro, I would recommend you try it for 30 days. It's very good, gives you access to all these features. And something tells me with Canva Create, they will have a bunch of other new pro features that will be awesome. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, transparent background, page 21. That's good. Let's go. So my GIF is being downloaded. All right, the GIF is ready. I'm gonna exit full mode for a sec so I can show you the GIF. It's here in my downloads. There you go, great work. There you go, that's the GIF. You can play it again. So you see the baseline effect and then the burst. Yeah, obviously it's a GIF, so it's a little bit pixelated. You can see that. I mean, I'm very happy that this doesn't have a background. This is also like kind of like watching the GIF in a big, like format, like good size. Normally these GIFs are much shorter and probably watch from a mobile phone. So that's the new feature. I really love that we have more options to export without a background. Maybe we get videos with transparent background at some point. Let's hope so. All right, moving on to the last new feature for today. This one is called blur animations. Animations with an S, because we are talking about 3 new animations that Canva recently added to its animation library, which is becoming quite big. So let me show you how they look. All right, so I will need some text. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a template with quite a bit of text. Let's go for this one. I'm gonna delete this. All right, let me show you what these new animations look like. For that, I'm going to use text, but these animations could be used with elements or text alike. They will work with everything. So let's click on this page. What I'm actually clicking on is a photo right here. You see this background, like this light effect. So I'm clicking on a photo, okay? And then I'm going to use the animate button. So you see straight from the get-go that I am here on a photo animation, all right? This is important because some of the animations will work for specific types of assets. Not all of them will work with photo. So right now I can see 2 new animations with the little red tag that says new. The first one is blur, okay, this one right here, and the other one is succession. But because I'm just applying this animation to the photo, we don't really see what's going on. So I'm going to click on the text box instead, okay? I still have the same animations, okay? So blur first, this is what it does, okay? So you see, it goes from blur to non-blur, right? So that's pretty cool. I have succession right here. If I select all of these elements and go to animate and then go succession, they will be showed in a specific series, in a sequence, like first, second, and third. Okay, again, there we go. And then the last one, it works only, I believe, with one individual text box. Okay, so I need to select one text box and it's called clarify. This one is really cool, very cinematic. You see, it just like these things will appear and go from blur to focused with like a few letters appearing last. So this one is called clarify. So the good news is that all of these new animations will be available for free to all users. So that's great. That's a nice gift from Canva. And yeah, as you can see, the list of of animation becomes quite extensive right now. So make sure you go and find them. You should see them easily because of their little red tag that says new. Again, make sure you try by clicking on different elements, because you see here with the photo selected, I don't have the last one, the one that's called, let me see, forgot, clarify. The clarify one doesn't work. It only works with text element, not photos. So there you go, guys. 9 new features. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our future announcement where we are going to be reviewing all of the good stuff Canva is going to talk about. I will see you soon.